What's up, Betsy Babes? Gonna do some more Zen today, but I do have a little bit of a change in list. I want to try to revisit the Winds of Eternity, see if I liked it, see if I didn't like it. And I've slightly modified this like Runaways Amsterdam deck list. I changed the sideboard a little bit more to my liking, just going up on a sink and snag as opposed to Blanches, because Prism isn't real, can't hurt you. And I'm adding two Mauling Keys in place of the Bittering Thorns because I think Bittering is kind of on the out. It's like Bittering is a solid card, but I think just having more competency might be interesting with this kind of list. Again, the whole point of this list is not have chain enders, but my goal here is to just side out the weakest links with the Mauling Keys and see how that works. What I really want to test out here is the blue base, so running the Winds of Eternity, the Spinning Wheel Kicks, that kind of thing, and see how that works out for me. I have mixed opinions about this list. I do think it's obviously very strong. It's done very well, but Winds of Eternity, not my favorite card in the world. I'm also not on E-Strikes in this list. That was another thing I was thinking about for the Mullen Key slot, but it's super awkward where you get a random Arsenal on a Winds of Eternity. So just wanted to revisit this list. I think it's very interesting. And yeah, I think these are kind of like the changes that I think some of the Runaways people were maybe hinting towards, although who knows. So yeah, we'll give it a spin. Let me just copy the link real quick. And let's get a game. Let's just join a random person. Ruin their day. Enigma. That might be too ruined. Let's make our own lobby. We'll let people come to us instead of ruining, intentionally just crashing someone's lobby. All right. Okay, maybe they want to run it back. We want to go first to Enigma. Again, I think Enigma is basically free. This is the main 60. I don't think we want to change anything for weakest links, so we're just going to run it, see how it goes. Again, Enigma is not a threat. So, this hand's disgusting. We'll start with Wind Chakra, Hold Priority, Rising Sun. We're not going to bin anything here because I think our hand is like actually perfect. Or we're going to bin, yeah, I think we're pretty much just, yeah, I think we're binning this. Gain a resource, let the Wind Chakra resolve. Then we're just going to do a Chase Aspect line here and then present basically 12 on turn 1. Like, even if they want to just, like, take a ton of damage just to develop an aura, like, I don't think we really care. Notably, they're on Aqualapse, which is kind of interesting. And then this also, one thing to note about Enigma, I guess, I haven't done an Enigma in a while, so maybe this is actually good for us. One thing to note about Enigma is that they can run, because she's a Mystic hero, they can run the Waves of Aquamarine, I think is the card name. So it gives it's an attack reaction. It gives something +1. Looks like they are probably running it, giving their on Pursuit of Knowledge, which is interesting. And yeah, they're just gonna take 7 here on turn 1, and then we get an Arsenal. They can't play an aura out, or they can play an aura out actually. Sure, that's fine. I don't think we really care. They took 7 to play an aura. Like, this matchup's like super free anyways. I don't think it really matters a ton. They're gonna develop out spears, which is fine. We don't really care. And 6. That is also fine. Sure. Now the question. Oh yeah, sure. They want to do something else. Sure, that's fine. They want to transcend maybe. Sure. Okay. On our turn, what are we doing? Part of me just wants to just send a little bit of damage. Like, I don't think we really need to Harmony here. I'd rather just save Harmony for like a double Art of War turn, or like double pseudo Art of War turn. So let's start with Kakara, I guess. I think we're doing Kakara, 100 Winds, Tiger Swipe. Again, just trying to use all our resources effectively. Again, I don't think you generally have to block in this matchup unless they hit you with like a weird on hit, but matchup's very, very Zen favored. even if they're like appropriately tech for Zen, I think most good Enigmas have just realized that it's just like awful. I think I was watching like Ray Adams at one point, and she was talking about how uh, they basically just given up on the Zen matchup because it's so bad that you basically lose percentage into everything else if you want to tech your deck for it, which I think makes a lot of sense. So here, our next hand isn't that great. But I guess we're just gonna hold back blocks in case they have like a CNC or something. Okay, so they have a weakest link. We don't necessarily care about this. I think what we're gonna do is just block 3 here, and then we're gonna just chase, like, we're just going to overpitch to Kakara and end on a CNC, I think is fine. But notably, this is a CNC they know about, so it's a little bit easier for them to block this, but again, we're just trying to kill their Spectral Shield, is our #1 priority here. And this probably won't even kill it, but it just applies pressure to them so that they have to, like, maybe they're forced to make like a bad block or something. That's kind of what we're going here. Okay, so they did let the Spectral die, which is good for us. Then we just finished on a CNC, and they have to give us 2 cards here, most likely. As expected. Notably, they did block with an Astral Etching, which you now have to pay a little bit of attention to. Okay. This is pretty close to a pop-off hand, but I don't think it needs to be. Yeah, so we're just going to take this. Vanilla damage, again. And they could also, like, theoretically, like, CNC on the end back half of this if they get really lucky off the draw, so. Oh, another levels. It's pretty good. So you do, like, buff draw. Draw go. Okay. I still think we say no blocks to this. Sure. So I think we want to get our first bonds in the yard, I think is our priority here. So let's do Descendants. Oh, but we should actually levels first. Sorry. Let's levels first, preserving what into our deck? What do we have duplicates of? Probably Tiger Swipe is fine to put back. Yeah. Tiger Swipe is good. We'll pitch in response. We'll get our bonds. We drop go. Get a chase. Oh, that's really good. So then we'll do Descendant, bonds, getting our aspect. Then we'll do Tiger. Looks like they're just taking 1,000,000 damage here. Okay, they're taking not 1,000,000 damage. But still basically 1,000,000. Sure. Got CNC, so now we do have to be a little bit cognizant of Aqualapse. And obviously Waves of Aquamarine. Yeah, I think this is a hand that can go for it. We could get punished by like Aqualapse and do another disruption effect, but I think that's maybe okay. So here we were blocking 7 just to play around it. Oh, they had the pummel. It's pretty good. I don't think that means they're alive though. Sure, we'll discard a Tiger. Then we'll get rid of our Harmony, which isn't that big a deal. Okay. Yeah, we're fine with this. So we're going to start with pitch this to do Descendant Bonds. Get our bonds, and then our bonds is most likely going to get Chase the Tail. And again, this is a game where we didn't even find Art of War, but we almost don't even really need it here. Because they're still so far ahead on life that, like, they're kind of fighting an uphill battle here a little bit. And this is what I'm saying by even, like, appropriately tech Enigmas still struggle with this matchup. Like, they hit us with a CNC pummel, and we kind of can just kill them anyway. It's off a 5-card hand. So, like, I don't know. This is why I always feel bad playing into Enigmas, because it's like, I don't know. It feels so bad from the Enigma side. All right, here we're gonna say no blocks. And yeah, like the problem with the Enigma, they want a quick rematch? Sure. Okay. We got a really good opening hand again? Sure. We'll start with, what are we starting with here? Pitch drop, I guess. Thinking about that more, maybe drop is actually the best card there. I'm not sure. Sure. And here we're just gonna get, I think, another spinning. That makes sense. Yeah, again, this is not necessarily showcasing the strength of the runaways list, so I'm not really entirely sure why I'm doing this, but we'll play it out. I guess this more so goes to demonstrate that the Enigma matchup is just kind of terrible. Okay, they want to stir. Can give up our Tiger and Arsenal to kill this Spectral Shield. Is probably worth it. Sure. Oh, wait, whoops. Sorry. Blah, blah, blah. We don't have the buff on the Tiger, right? Because we close the chain from the Kakar. That's fine. So yeah, they're still ahead on Spectral, but it doesn't really matter. They took 3 damage. We're fine. And Enigma Chimera, again, is totally okay with us. So here we can get a pretty nasty levels. I think we're going to do that. All right, so here's the cool thing that you can do with levels and Sacred Art specifically. So we're going to start with this. We're then going to gain a resource. Then we'll we already have 3 floating from Sacred Art, actually. Oh, so this is slightly a missequence. That's fine. So we should have not gained a resource, but I think it's still okay. I was trying to go for the triple pitch to the levels. We'll get our Chase the Tail. Then our levels will resolve. So we should have done Kakar. Is there a way to do Kakar first? I'm not sure. Do Draco. Hit another Chase the Tail, which is kind of disgusting, actually. Do we want to probably do want to just play it? Sure. This is like probably, I don't know. This is just like nasty. And I'll finish on Kakara and Tiger. Again, I'm playing fast here because like this is brutal. Like poor guy. Holy shit. Yeah. I mean they've got the battle you got and the stuff, but like we just don't even care. So sad. Yeah. Oh, they have their Secret Heart too, sure. Okay, that's like a little scary. Sure. So they did their triple levels, okay. Sounds good. We can get our 3rd Chase the Tail too if we do like Descendant. It's pretty gross. Yeah. They're gonna etchings, which again we're fine with. Sure, ending turn. They have 3 Spectral Shields. So what are we doing here? think we're doing levels, draw a card. I think it's just super efficient to do this. We're gonna basically have to sacrifice something to get like a random arsenal. So we'll banish that all you got because they can't pass or preserve it back in the deck. We'll gain a resource and then activate this in response, getting our bonds. Do draw and go. Finding a chi. Okay, I don't know if that's exactly what we wanted there. I think we're still fine here. So we'll start with Kakara. We're probably just going to use this for pitch, actually. Sure. Do Descendant. And we'll do our bonds. We'll get our Chase the Tail. I think we're just going to hand dump here. Just to get rid of these spectrals, because there's no way they can block all of this. In my professional Zen opinion. Yep, okay. So they take it all. We are going to go off an Arsenal, but I think it's okay just to push 4. And they get a random card off their whatever. But again, I don't think we really care. Alright, take 4 vanilla damage here. Sure. Pass it back. And what are we doing? Okay, opponent is not having it. Yeah, like Enigma again. So this is kind of like the reason why I don't play a lot of Enigma on stream or like on camera is just because it is like borderline cyberbullying in a lot of cases. So forgive me for not providing you with Enigma Zen content. I know you all have been desperate to watch me play it. All right, let's see if we can get another game from someone who's not on Enigma. Oh, is this the same person? Okay. Yeah, I don't think they want to run back. See if we can get another game. Riptide. Do you want to play another Riptide? Sure, we'll play into a Riptide. Okay. So I think our board is pretty much good to go. Again, Riptide can get you. Especially like I think the fatigue version is maybe the scariest version of Riptide I've seen. But if they're on like aim counter stuff, they are not. This looks a lot more like the other one that I'm familiar with. This looks. I don't think this is a fatigue deck. Although it could be a fatigue deck. I don't know if it's like the Pablo Pintor one though. I think that one might be just on balance. Here, I think we're just gonna pass turn though. Again, if you see New Horizons, I don't think you want to give them the chance to Arsenal like a trap, and our hand isn't like anything to write home about really. Well, Arsenal's spinning here. Again, I do think you generally want to try to go second in this matchup, but I think it's about the same. Maybe we also should Arsenal the Sacred Art in case they have like the Battering Bolt. Huh. Heatseeker almost makes me feel like this is some kind of hybrid list. Okay, so they have the Remorseless for 6, which we can cover here. I think we're just going to do it. This looks a little bit more aggressive than what I'm used to, but I'm not 100% on that. I think here we're just going to pitch a red so we can Arsenal our Transcend card. They could like trap us here, but I think we're kind of okay with that. Again, it's hard to play around Riptide's traps at all points. Like, again, I don't like Tarpit Trap here is like totally fine for us, I think. I think if anything, the traps that you have to play around are like the buff ones, which I have historically done a very poor job of doing. Okay, we have an interesting hand next turn. I think we're gonna take this. So we can't do everything next turn, but we're probably just gonna want to CNC. I'm gonna see what's next. I don't think we need an arsenal next turn necessarily. So I think it's fine to take the Seek and Destroy. Looks like they got another arrow or potentially a codex. Okay, another arrow. So now our CNC is getting a lot worse, which is fine. We didn't necessarily need our CNC. They are not going to have an arsenal, so we're going to block with the CNC just to get our 3 value here. It was also a little bit awkward on our turns, like curve next turn anyways. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to transcend, do chase aspect, and then make it a tiger swipe, I think is like my idea here. And we'll just send like a little bit of pressure at them. Just kind of keep them off cards. So we'll start with the transcend. Again, a lot of the times with Sacred Art, you're kind of fine just like transcending, not getting like the full tiger value. I jokingly call it the worst transcend card, and I think that's kind of true for a lot of the time. Also, we shouldn't be pitching this early. Sorry, it's a little bit late. I just actually got off an armory where I was playing Zen, so forgive me for my bad Zen sequencing here. So yeah, if you have a chi, like always just make sure to like think through your line, but don't like search it beforehand to give them information, obviously. But we're sending some good damage here. And again, going off an arsenal is annoying if they have codex, but like it's probably fine for the turn while we try to find Art of War. Notably, this version isn't on balance, or they might be on balance, but they're choosing New Horizons, so the Art of War gets significantly better. And then here we get pinged for 3, which is a little unfortunate. So we can't pay it, but I think it's still fine. Then our tigers don't do anything, so we'll just pass it back. Okay. What does this hand want to do? This hand's really awkward because this hand wants. This is kind of like one of the problems with Wind Chakra is that, like, if you have it with Drop in the Ocean, you need to attack first, obviously, in order to get it. But Wind Chakra wants to like see the Transcend at the same time, so it's a little bit of an unfortunate hand here. Let's see how we can navigate this. Notably, we don't have a Descendant in Yard yet. Part of me just wants to like mulligan this hand and just do like Descendant into Chase the Tail. Just put a Descendant Gust Wave in the yard and an Arsenal drop is maybe fine. I think it's good to Arsenal drop just because it can be good to just play it out on their turn if they like want to try to like send a CNC at me or whatever. Okay, this is looking like a hybrid version of Riptide. Because they are running the buffs and stuff, but they're not like just all in on the traps and stuff. Okay, I think we got a good play here. So I think the line is we're going to 100 wins and then drop in the ocean, close chain, we'll gain a resource, and then we'll do Descendant Bonds, get the 100 wins back, and then finish on Winds of Eternity. That's pretty strong. Okay, we'll start with that. So we're gonna drop after the attack resolves. Do this now. Then we're gonna close the chain. We'll get our Descendant here. We could get a little bit bodied by Seek and Destroy here, or by what's the card called? Collapsing Trap. but I think we're fine. We could also even arsenal this, so we don't actually have to play out the aspect here. I think it's better. We do have to notably play out the tiger though before we do the winds, 100 winds thing. So tiger first. And we'll finish on a 0-4. All right, Winds of Eternity, actually good here. World first. Winds of Eternity being good. I joke. This card is definitely good. It's just like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it maybe is like almost a playstyle thing, but I understand the strength of this card. Okay, let's see. This is not necessarily a pop-off hand, so I'm kind of fine just taking 4 here. We still have one more chase in the deck. I mean, we could just jam with the Winds of Eternity here. We could do like Kakara, spinning, tiger. How do we play around Inertia Trap? Let's do Kakara first. All right, here's how we play around Inertia Trap. So here's how we get maximum information on whether or not they're going to Inertia Trap us. Is we Kakara first, right? Then we do our tiger. So this is actually, we're revealing the information ahead of time. But now we're giving them the opportunity to do it. So if they want to Inertia Trap us on this tiger, then we can still play out the aspect afterwards for value is my logic here. So let's do spinning here. They can still Inertia Trap us on the Winds of Eternity, but I feel like we're trying to bait them almost into using it. All right, we'll do our 100 winds now. And then we'll finish again on Winds of Eternity. Okay, the Winds of Eternity is putting in like pretty good work, honestly. Again, I'm not like, I haven't been super high on this card because, I don't know. It's just clunky sometimes, but it's been doing pretty well here. I'm glad they used that before the Winds of Eternity would come in. All right, 0 for 5, like, pretty solid. All right, they have the Buzzsaw, which is fine. This can be a pop-off hand, but I'd almost rather it not be. I can't remember what they revealed off the last Ravel. Came in for 4, right? So they have a red in hand. Hold on, let's scroll up. Too far back. We should have paid a little bit more attention. So this is something that's red. Or it could also just be another Ravel. I guess it could be the Ravel itself. I think we're fine with this though. Okay, pass and turn. I think we now want to try to swap out our arsenal with a Harmony if we can help it, because we're getting to the point where we should start seeing our rewards. So we'll start with the spinning. I do want to try to avoid buffing my attacks this turn, just so we can guarantee our arsenal if that's at all possible. So we'll do our aspect now. I think we just play out the Descendant as opposed to like Kakara crouching just to play around it. Looks like they're keeping a pretty big hand here though. Yeah. Okay, I don't know if this is exactly what I would have asked for in terms of a hand, but it's okay. I think it's actually a little bit better than it looks. So here, I know the combo count for this deck is also quite high. They're doing go again. Okay, I think we take the goes. I think we take the E-strike. I think we probably are just gonna have to go for it next turn, regardless. Okay, they have a Searing Shot. Do we want to transcend on our turn versus theirs? That's a question. If we block... So this is actually coming in for 5, right? So I'm thinking we almost don't need to transcend on our turn. So let's Rising Sun Preserve first, I think. And what do we put back? Put back an Aspect. I think it's pretty solid. Gain our resource. Now we'll filter. Get a Levels, which I think is really solid. Do we want this Mauling Key in our hand? It's in our arsenal, the Harmony. We can draw a lot of cards if we keep two. Well, we're going to have another blue anyways. So I guess we'll ship the Chi. Gain another resource. So basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to block out the Searing Shot with armor. Because they don't have a way to give go again right now. Yeah, I think we're just going to go for it. We don't have Art of War, but we have Harmony, which is like... I like to always think of Harmony as like half an Art of War. It's obviously like... It doesn't buff all your attacks, but, you know, it buffs like half of them, kind of-ish. So I think we are still fine here. The Rain Razors does not really change much about that. We'll start with Harmony and let's see what we hit. Yeah, we hit another Harmony as we expected. Then I think we're going to cycle our first Tonichi Moon. We're going to do Levels, Pitch, get our last Chase seems fine. Do draw, go. So we're drawing 2 cards here, one off the Chi Moon and then one off this. Find another Transcend card, which is not exactly what we're looking for, but I think it's still okay. Okay, looks like they're off it. That's fine. Let's see if we can get one more good one to end it on with this deck. I feel like the, I don't know. It's very hard to, sometimes it's hard to play on Tao Chari, let me tell you. It's just like, I don't know. With Zen, it feels like the deck is just like hyper competitive. Okay, you know what? We haven't done a Kano in a while. Let's get our Kano sideboard. I don't have my sideboard matchups on this list, obviously. I'm pretty sure it's just this. The Pathful Travel is like freaking out. Yep, this looks good. Oh, I'm missing a card somehow. It's a Tiger Swipe. Okay. So against Kano, what are we doing? So I like to prioritize arsenaling a Transcend card if I can against Kano, but it's super early here, and also this is like one of the shittiest Transcend cards, so I'm kind of fine just like getting rid of this. I think we'll gain our resource and we'll just do like Chase Aspect, and then if they want to send something on our turn, I think we're kind of okay with that. Ooh, Arsenal the Mullen Key, I think, is our plan here. So we'll just present, you know, enough damage to the point where they probably want to maybe block some this turn. The idea being that they can't just like fish off the top and try to filter. Okay. Keeping 1 card back in hand. We got 2 damage true. I think we're pretty okay with that. We find a first 0 cross transcend card, which is very good for us. So our plan for next turn is we're basically going to try to figure out ways to stick in an arsenal, which is probably going to involve like pitching the Tiger Swipe just to get it out of our hand and then finishing on a Mullen Key. I think needle usage is also pretty important in this matchup. I try to not do Needle super early in the game. Also, a very common misplay that I see a lot of people do with Needle is that it's backwards. Your Needle should always be facing out away from you. If they're facing towards you, it's quite dangerous generally. Okay, so we have two coming in here. What are we doing? Probably just want to AB one of it. Like, our Tiger Snipe isn't doing anything next turn, so I think it's fine to just eat a damage here. Again, I don't think they're set up really to kill us here. So I think it's quite low risk that we die next turn. We'll take 0 off the Scalding. I'll turn off the Spell Phrase for now. It's going to bite me in the ass when I forget about it, but it's okay. Then we're just going to do Spinning into Mauling and then our kind of Sandbagger Homage. What I typically like to do is I like to just sit on this for a little bit until I find at least another one that's redundant, is kind of my plan. And here we're not pushing a lot of damage, so I'm just not even gonna Needle here. I'm just gonna sit the Mauling. Okay, they got a lesson off the top, which is fine. Notably, they did pitch 2 E-Pots, which I think is actually really important to maybe try to develop out at least one in the matchup. Yeah, but we're okay just taking a little bit of damage. If they want to set up the top card of their deck, I think we're okay with that. Looks like they're getting a Dart. I don't know if that's what I would have chosen, but to each their own. All right, and then we get our Homage and Arsenal, which is exactly where we want it to be. Then we draw this hand. This is obviously very good in Kano. We can kind of do something with it, though. No, we can't. Just kidding. I thought we had 100 Woods of Graveyard, but we do not. That's a little bit unfortunate. We could do something a little bit cute here. We do have spinning wheel kicks in this version of Kano, I think, right? Pretty sure the list is running blue spinnings, right? Yeah. So what we could do is we could, like, Descendant Bonds, pitching one here, and then we pitch another one to play a blue spinning wheel kick, just so we have our blue up in case they want to try to go for something. We'll not pay into this. This is fine. And then we'll take another one. Again, not a lot of pressure coming from that side. So I think that's actually the line here. We're obviously kind of displaying a little bit of weakness here with the way we have to pitch, but we have there just isn't really an option with this hand. And again, they could try to kill us here if they're smart. So we'll get our blue spinning wheel kick. And then if they want to try to kill us, this is probably their window to do so. And they might be like, why are you getting blue spinning wheel kick? And it's because we have access to Homage. So if they wanted to do this, they probably if they want to go off here, they probably should have done this before we were able to cast this. And they did have a window to do that if they wanted to. Okay, it looks like they're just blocking here, which is fine. We'll pass it back. We still have our Transcend card, which is very good. Okay, main phase Wildfire. We'll just take it. Is this a hand where I can try to kill them? It might be. But I don't think it needs to be. I think we're fine just doing a little bit of slow kip here. Again, I like to be pretty patient typically in the Zen Kano matchup. Like, you can go to like 20 and I think still be pretty safe from a majority of things. And notably, we played our blue, so we're now insulated with the homage. And again, I don't think we need to go for it here. Like, we can actually, like, just fully tap out here. We're probably still safe. Notably, they've seen 3 Tome of Aether Winds, which I'm happy that those are out of the deck. So I can't complain too much about that. All right, we find our redundant Transcend card, which means we can now use our other one. So that's very good. Looks like they're going to hit us with a Quickening for 4, which we will not block. And then they're going to pass it back. Okay, so I think we're going to go for it here. We're going to go for Descendant Bonds. Let's think through our line a little bit here. Descendant Bonds, Aspect, question mark. Yeah, that seems good. And then we can maybe throw in a Needle at some point. We'll sneak in our damage now. They now have the opportunity to respond to this if they so desire. But we do still have AB5 effectively. I'm going to go ahead and we'll get a resource. I'm going to go ahead and turn these on too. We'll let this resolve. We'll get our bonds. Where is it? There we go. Bonds will get, how much do we have floating? We have 3 floating. I think I'm just going to get Aspect just to be safe. I don't think we really need it, but like, if we get Aspect here, what happens is we can do Needle into a 5 and then like still be pretty insulated from, like, we can do a lot in terms of ABing. They, I think, are now forced to try to go for something. And again, they're going to have to go for something while we have 3 floating and also homage. So it's pretty uphill for them. And they could try to block here, but I think we're sending enough pressure to the point where it's not super easy for them to do so. Like, I think it is theoretically possible if their entire hand blocks. They go 3 block, 2 block, block 0, and then block 5. So it is theoretically possible they block out, but I think they're passing here. Okay, there's a 30 pot down. Although they did shuffle, actually. Sorry. So this, I think they shuffled off the lesson at some point. So I don't know actually where all the E-pots are anymore. I have a lot of reps into this hero. It's specifically into the Zen Kano matchup. So okay, so there's another E-pot. Makes sense. All right, they got the Wildfire. So they've already cast the Wildfire. They have the Gaze that we know about. They could theoretically get another Wildfire off the top. But I think it's pretty safe to try to go for it in response to the Kennel because they have to hit it off of this Gaze if they want to do something about it. I'd almost rather do this. I'd almost rather do this now in response to the Kindle, just before they have like the opportunity to do double Wildfire, and then they can respond to the Zen state. So we're gonna put it on the stack. They can obviously now Gaze if they want to, but I think we are okay with that. Okay, and they let it resolve, which is very good. Now we'll put the Zen state on the stack and see what they want to do. Okay, and they let that resolve too. So I think that was our window to try a Zen state. They could obviously have like Wildfired, like Gaze, done a bunch of things, and then Wildfire in response to the Zen state, but it's pretty low likelihood they do that, especially when they've already used a Wildfire. All right, we'll pay 2 here, and then we'll pop both our spell phrase. So we're only taking 2 off this Wildfire, which is kind of nasty. They do have the flare follow up, but I still don't think that kills because they were basically AB throwing that as well. It could get a blazing. We haven't seen any blazings actually. I think we saw one in pitch at the beginning of the game, but they might have shuffled that at some point. And then we also have an extra 1 AB if we need to. So it's pretty unlikely that they're able to pull something out here. All right, the flare here is fine, so we're gonna AB this. We're only taking 2 from that as well. So the blazing would come in for 8. Yeah, so it's not enough. So I definitely think we played that right. I think it's a very hard matchup on the Kano side. Just very difficult. I'm probably gonna wrap up the recording there for today, though. Thank you all for watching. We have some pretty cool videos coming up, though. Oh yeah, look at that win rate, by the way. 100% win rate. Runaways list is insane. We have some pretty fun videos coming up. I don't want to spoil too much, but obviously we're going to make a sequel to the Betsy video. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be a very high effort video. And yeah, look forward to seeing you all. Also, we're going to be in San Diego. So if anyone recognizes this, I'll be sure to say hi and stuff. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all around. Thanks.